This patient has just been rushed into hospital after a road accident. It's immediately clear that he's suffering head injuries and a broken leg. But there's something else, something not so obvious, and something that could kill him. It's up to these Year 10 pupils to diagnose what's wrong and save his life. Will they succeed?
So could you basically tell me where the pain is?
You'll be relieved to hear that real casualties are never brought here. It's the Medical Simulation Centre, run by St Bart's and London Hospital NHS Trust. The star of the show here is pretend patient Charlie. Charlie's life is placed in danger every day during essential training for surgeons, nurses, anaesthetists, radiologists, theatre technicians, everyone who forms part of the operating team. Today they're also joined by pupils from Mount Carmel Technology College for Girls and the Central Foundation Boys' School, both in Islington. They're here as part of a unique initiative led by the Islington 14 to 19 Pathfinder project and funded by the NHS University and DFES.
And the purpose of the project is to develop partnerships between local schools and further education, local universities and NHS organisations in primary and secondary healthcare and indeed social services. The purpose of that partnership is to design and deliver collaboratively between teachers and practitioners work-related learning experiences that we hope will motivate young people to take themselves more seriously as youngsters who have a good career ahead of them if they only take that opportunity.
During the morning, the pupils are split into two groups to learn skills they're expected to put into practice in the afternoon. The first lesson is about one of the most important procedures, washing and staying clean.
That one's a pink one and it's got a pick in it for your nails. And your nails have got to be cut nice and short. Because if you've got those big, like, long nail extensions, they're going to go straight through a glove. Someone, what we do, this is what you do for all surgery. You'd scrub off in 5 minutes.
We try and teach the pupils things that are simple and easy for them to understand, and they've all must have read the news about MRSA and superbugs, so they can relate to it. And the most important thing that you can do to reduce that is to wash your hands. So if we can start doing them now, whether they join the NHS or not, it doesn't matter. You know, we're helping them build healthy habits.
I'm a theatre technician, and I work as an anaesthetic technician, so we look after all the anaesthetic equipment.
Would you recommend a career in the health service, honestly?
Yes, yeah, you get well looked after. That's it. That's brilliant. That's it. Step away.
It's only the second time that a group of pupils has spent a day in the simulation centre. They've been chosen by the schools and are mostly taking applied GCSEs in science.
And just let it drop.
What I've tried to get over to them is the idea that the NHS works as a team, that there's no one person who's more important than the other. And we try to get over the myth that it's not doctors and nurses that it's important, it's everybody. And also the fact that there is a job for them in the NHS. If they want one, we're looking for people just like them to come and join the team.
There is some interest already in joining the caring professions.
So I want to be a social worker. So like caring for elderly and just caring for people.
I'm interested in law really, not really health or anything, criminal law.
Midwifery and nursing. That's what I want to do with little children.
Does it appeal to you?
Not really.
The next lesson is about taking blood, and it features this artificial limb, which bizarrely is also called Charlie.
Is anyone scared of needles? People can have lifelong phobias from one experience. If you take blood from someone and do it badly, you don't communicate and you scare them, that person might never come back to a hospital for the rest of their life. Yeah. Whenever you're going to do anything to any patient, kid, always say who you are, why you're there and what you're going to do to them.
Push it in, you'll feel a pop. That's it. Keep it really still with this hand, really, really still, and pull with your other hand. That's it. Perfect.
There is a role in the NHS for them if that's where they want to go. Catering, administration, management, information technology, working in the laboratories, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, radiology, and there's more careers in the NHS than you could hope to describe. It's the third biggest employer in the world,
You can't show all that today, though, can you?
We can't, no. What we do try and give them here is a taster of what might be available, and obviously also focus on the fact that core skills such as communication, patient interaction, team working, time management are important basic building blocks for all careers.
So I'm going to show you how to put one of these things in.
The aim is for 80 pupils to visit the centre to encourage them to think about a career in the health service, or just think about a career, and to understand what qualifications and qualities are needed to make progress.
If they show an interest in a career in the health service, then back at school we're developing career progression pathways for individual students which map out the routes they can take and the qualifications that they would need to get, and also identifies a generic range of skills and qualities they need to be developing while they're at school. So each youngster will have this, and this will point the way. The big emphasis, though, what we're doing is on enabling young people to really understand, and indeed teachers, that education is not just about getting the qualifications. That's vitally important. It's about also understanding the importance of skills and qualities and seeing how they're being developed through the process of following your course and studying your subjects.
Charlie has suddenly and rather eerily started to breathe, to give a lifelike feel to the lesson on injections.
Okay, put it nice and firm, straight in. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put it in now. Shouldn't hurt too much.
So it's going to be a sharp scratch.
It's going to be sharp.
Are you expecting these pupils to leave here today and say, yes, I want to work in the health service?
Possibly. I don't know. Some of them will, yes.
So would you recommend a career in the health service?
Absolutely. I've enjoyed mine. There's been ups and downs, obviously, and sometimes it's quite difficult at 3 o'clock in the morning. But in general, I look forward to coming to work. I enjoy my job a lot, and most people I work with seem to enjoy theirs.
The Islington Pathfinder project also wants to tackle the perception that long-term careers are only for academic achievers.
We're developing what's called an electronic e-portfolio system at the moment that will enable them to click on at certain transition points and decision-making points and access other information. So the whole of the ethos of this project is really about trying to get young people to see that they have a long-term, there's a value in terms of career and investing time in their own career. And it's very difficult for young people, particularly from backgrounds where that is not an implicit part of their home culture.
Last one.
The final lesson is about interpreting X-rays.
Lungs, your chest, yep, your lungs. What's your lungs show up as? Black because they are full of air. Brilliant, yep.
Are all the ribs looking normal?
No. You see a break there? Slight step, isn't there? And then it starts again.
You heard of collapsed lung? It gives you something, we call it pneumothorax, which is where the lung gets punctured and you get air inside the chest between the lung and the ribs. If the air starts building up pressure on the inside of the chest, it can completely push that lung and the heart over to the other side and stop the heart beating and cause the patient to have a cardiac arrest.
I'd quite like the kids to come into my area just to help us, because at the moment obviously departments are quite suffering because there was not enough staff to go around.
Right, so that's noticeable, is it?
It is noticeable, yeah, especially it's quite stressful in that respect, because if someone goes off sick, it's even more short-staffed, and we sometimes have to close scanners, we have to close departments down because we can't actually run them at a safe level.
Is working in the health service really an attractive option?
Definitely, it's a brilliant job, and it's a stable job as well, hopefully, because everywhere in the world is a hospital, so they're going to need you somewhere.
And if you enjoy quite low pay, very long hours, and abusive people.
Yeah, okay, you've got to sort of love the job as well, yeah. But at the end of the day, you can see that as a challenge. At the end of the day, especially from my point of view, if I get an abusive patient to sit down, to calm down, have their x-ray and then leave again, for me that's quite rewarding.
It's lunchtime, and it seems appetites aren't affected by all the blood and needles.
He makes a better man than he does a...
Meanwhile, Charlie is preparing for his starring role as an accident victim. For this, he's given the name of Wayne Hobble, who's come off his scooter.
The last group were really good. They diagnosed everything that was wrong with him and treated him accordingly, like give him antibiotics because there'll be bits of road in his leg. Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'll be surprised how much they actually remember.
The pupils should know what to do from the information given to them during the morning, and they should also be able to spot a hidden threat to Wayne's life. Wayne's vital life signs, including blood pressure, heart rate, temperature, are all controlled from this room, where the operator can also act as the patient's voice.
So could you basically tell me where the pain is?
Oh, and watch when you touch my leg. Oh, I was on my bike and I hit a car.
Keep talking to us, Wayne.
The broken leg isn't difficult to diagnose, nor the head injuries, and x-rays are duly ordered.
I need an x-ray of what's actually happening in his leg so I know what to do in the surgery. So
What about Wayne himself? He's not feeling very well, is he?
The young medics need some prompting, however, before the poor patient is given any painkiller.
Has he had any painkillers?
no painkillers, I was capturing or nothing.
Shall we give him some?
Morphine is administered and a drip put in place. But Wayne's condition seems to be getting worse.
Oh, it's my breathing as well. It's really difficult to breathe. I'm not finding it easy to breathe.
It isn't long before some of the pupils recall the lesson about x-rays.
What do you reckon the problem might be?
There's a lot of oxygen here, but not here.
Yeah, they're kind of locked up.
And what's happened
too much.
here?
Blocked there.
If you remember, he's got the bruise on the left-hand side, hasn't he?
Could Wayne be in danger from a broken rib that's punctured his lung? Yes, he could.
It's pierced his lung.
It's punctured his lung, yeah.
Blood
So what we need to make sure that we pick up all the injuries he's got, because if we just looked at the leg, then he would have died, because we wouldn't have sorted out his chest, right? So what you need is a team approach. Everyone needs to work together, and everyone needs to know what everyone else is doing, and you need to work out what the injuries are, and to treat them in order of priority. So the things that will kill you first get sorted out first.
Wayne's life is promptly saved, and as you might expect, he's extremely grateful.
Thank you very much. I think you've saved my life. Thank you to all of you.
The day at the centre will be followed by a detailed evaluation against 7 criteria: being part of a team, being a people person, being self-reliant, accepting responsibility, problem solving, knowing the working environment, and self-evaluation.
We're not saying that if you come on a day like today, you're going right in the NHS. It's self-evidently not the case. What we're saying is that today you have had a range of experiences, all of which are transferable to other sectors, but which help you to understand the real importance of certain skills and qualities that you need to develop in order to be effective in the workplace.
Telling you.
No one is leaping up and down with enthusiasm, but there's no doubt the day has stimulated interest in the health service.
I think coming here has actually given me a deeper view and all that, to see how work does every day, and it's really helped me a lot actually, yeah.
In the NHS, probably a cardiologist.
Cardiologist?
But I know if I was to be a cardiologist, it would take like 7 years of training, and I don't think I have the patience for that.
So you are going to do it or not?
Maybe, yes. I don't really know when my life's going to go after 16.
I'm not thinking maybe like pharmacist.
Yeah? Has today encouraged you to think about a career?
Yeah.
The day ends with a presentation of certificates to pupils considered to have performed the best. All of the pupils have been given a real insight into the workings of an operating theatre. None of them will believe what they see on Casualty or ER again.